Hey, everybody, welcome to Think Business. Looking forward to talking with Jayson Lowe, or as some call him, J Lowe, right? So today's, as CEO of Ascendant Financial and chairman of the Lowe family group of companies, Jayson has built a portfolio of active, profitable businesses in the financial and e-commerce spaces. Jayson, I've been looking forward to talking with you because I love talking about e-commerce. And I think post-COVID, right? I don't know if I can say post-COVID yet, but post-COVID, e-commerce to me has completely changed and accelerated completely. All of those people who were uncomfortable in e-commerce, afraid to use their credit card, we're now seeing, and I can't wait to see what the next decade brings when it comes to e-commerce. So let's dive in there. Talk about what e-commerce means today versus what it meant a year and a half ago for companies.
Well, firstly, allow me to say thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be with you and with your viewers. And I'll start with something that was said to me years ago. I was at a business conference in Cleveland, and the facilitator of the conference said, if your business can be Amazoned, it's only a matter of time before it is.
Yeah, right.
And that really clicked and resonated with me. And I've always been, I spent a lot of my professional working career before becoming an entrepreneur and building this portfolio of businesses. I spent a lot of time in the retail space, and we knew that this was coming, but nobody really understood how to grasp it or how to, build a business model around it.
Right.
And then when COVID struck, the world changed.
And the world changed.
Yeah. And convenience of accessing goods, accessing product at your fingertips, I'll tell you, it has completely changed that element of our portfolio of companies. Our businesses have more than 10x'd.
Yeah.
And the future is very bright. And I'll tell you, e-commerce to me, really the convenience of it, the ease of implementation for somebody to actually get involved in being an entrepreneur in this space. There's an incredibly low barrier to entry.
Yeah.
And if you're surrounded by the right people, you've got the right systems, the right process, the right technology, the right product mix, you'll do very well.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. A couple things. I want to talk about becoming a commodity, right?
Yeah.
You said, in Cleveland, you're sitting there. Well, if you can become Amazon, et cetera, et cetera. So today, I don't think enough companies look with the right lens of how their business could become a commodity. We're looking at studies that pre-COVID studies show that by the year 2030, 85% of the jobs that exist today don't exist in 2030, don't exist today.
Right.
And so what does a company do? How does a company, retail and a professional service company, right? B2B, all different types of companies, how should they be thinking about e-commerce today so they don't become a commodity tomorrow?
Stop being afraid of Amazon.
Yeah. Talk about that. What does that mean to you?
Everything begins with the way that we think. That's why I love the title of everything that you do. Think big. And
thank you.
Everything begins with the way that we think. And when we decided to get into this space, we said, listen, we're not going to be afraid of Amazon. We're not going to be afraid of companies that are in this space. What we're going to do is we're going to seek to understand, what do our customers value?
Yeah.
And what do the customers that we want value? And then we're going to go and provide that. And that's what a really good entrepreneur does. They take something from a lower level of productivity to a much higher level of productivity. They understand what their clients that they have and the clients that they want value, and then they go out and provide it. And Amazon, much like any other business that grows to that scale, it's not a matter of if, it's when they begin suffering from what I call the big dumb company syndrome.
Yeah.
And Amazon has got that stage 4. And so we are able to provide in a niche way what customers value, and there's plenty of ocean to swim in. You don't have to own the whole thing to swim in it.
Yeah.
And so just get started.
Well, give an example of what you do. I want to come back and talk about some of the things that you're talking about right now. I'll kind of layer in, because as you talk about kind of exactly what you do and the type of client you service, so people can put some context to it. But what you're talking about also is like, zooming out, raising your level of consciousness and looking for the opportunity, not just looking for the reason you can't do something. So I love that. And so as you zoom out with clients, what exactly are you doing with clients when it comes to e-commerce?
So with e-commerce, we're helping clients get product to these providers like Amazon for fulfillment. And so we work with e-commerce entrepreneurs who are selling on Shopify, Amazon, eBay, etc. Now, there are two different tracks there, fulfillment by Amazon and fulfillment by merchant. The fulfillment by merchant is much more profitable, but so many e-commerce entrepreneurs really have no idea how to do it.
Yeah.
So they find that path of least resistance to just go fulfillment by Amazon. And we've got the FBM model pinned down, and we do it extremely well. So in addition to that, and I'll just share this with you, because so many companies across the globe are getting product into the United States that requires Food and Drug Administration prior notice. That is a very labor-intensive, time-consuming, expensive process. And we've automated it because we identified the problem and we created a whole software platform to solve that problem. And now we've got all these e-commerce entrepreneurs and logistics and supply companies across the globe who are reaching out and knocking on their door saying, how can you complete a prior notice fulfillment in 20 seconds? It takes us an hour to do it.
Yeah.
Because we plowed some marketing muscle, some technology muscle, some innovation muscle behind it. And we built a platform, and by solving a problem.
Let me ask you a question, diving into that problem, right? We just had, Donna Maria, clients of hers, her members all sell on Shopify and Amazon. Would love to know how you can help them. So what are the first steps?
The first steps are to connect, right? We need to understand what exactly it is that you need help with. And if we can provide that solution, we'll certainly do that. If we can't, we'll connect you to someone who can. We're very well connected in this space, and we love to help entrepreneurs. That is what inspires me. That's what motivates me. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning, is helping other entrepreneurs succeed. And of course, being privileged to lead such a wonderful team inside of our own group of companies.
Are you able to sell people who are even regulated by the FDA?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, there you go, Donna. So you can reach out to Jayson. We'll give you his contact information. Give real quickly. I usually do it at the end, but give your contact information. So if somebody wants to connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely. If somebody needs to reach out, they can call direct 780-809-4599. That's 780-809-4599. I can be emailed at jayson.lowe, so that's JAYSON.LOWE at ascendantfinancial.ca. That's ascendantfinancial.ca.
I love it. All right, so let's talk about the other piece of the business, Ascendant Financial. In this piece of your business, you are, you're basically the leading educators of becoming your own banker, this banking concept. And so what exactly does that mean?
The whole essence of the process of becoming your own banker is to recapture the interest, recapture the money that you're presently paying to banks, to finance companies, credit card companies, for all those things that you need to finance and to purchase throughout your lifetime. The problem that exists out there today with everybody is that they're feeling like there's something fundamentally wrong with the financial system, but they just can't quite put their finger on it. And this process of becoming your own banker, the infinite banking concept, puts you in the driver's seat because someone has to perform that function of banking as it relates to your needs. And for all of your viewers, I would argue that they're doing all the work to earn all their money, but everyone else is getting all their money.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have to be that way.
All right, good. I have a couple more questions, but just to go back 1 second, Donna has one more question. Are you helping them with shipping, regulations, fees, all the above? What exactly are you?
So primarily in prior notice fulfillment as it relates to the Food and Drug Administration. So that's a whole process. And 3PL, so we provide pack and prep services to e-commerce resellers. We also provide coaching and education on how, whether you're just getting started, whether you're hitting your stride, or whether you're looking to scale.
Okay, good. All right, good. I want to talk a little bit about, you said earlier, as you became an entrepreneur, right? So my first quick question, are entrepreneurs born or made?
Oh man, I think it's a combination of both. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, where I got bit by the entrepreneurial bug was in the corporate world. One of my mentors, Ted Hutchinson, who I'm forever grateful for, and he's an amazing mentor to me. He said to me a long time ago when I was put in charge of growing a brand new division of a business, he said, "Listen, go and build something to lead." And that really inspired me to get to a deep understanding of what it takes to actually grow a business, an enterprise, from idea to thinking big about that idea to actually getting it from incubation to launch to growing to profitability to scale.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you highlighted many of the important parts. I mean, none of it happens overnight and none of it is easy. So what is, as we sit here today, with the great resignation, 4 million people left their jobs in April, the millennial generation, recent studies are showing, are getting ready to start their own businesses. What is some of the insight and advice that you could give the new entrepreneur or the aspiring entrepreneur of today?
The greatest skill that you can develop is to be coachable.
Amen to that. Yeah.
I will shout that from the rooftops, and I admire what you do because it is so impactful.
Yeah.
And I can't stress that enough. There's no such thing as having arrived in knowledge. If you feel that you've learned everything there is to learn, I promise you it's all downhill from here.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
There's always something new to learn, and you need a good coach. And so you've got to, of course, be in touch with you and with your group and what you can do, because I'll tell you, I credit my success. I credit the lessons that I learned from my failures as a result of being the sum parts of everyone who's mentored me. Yeah. Nobody has built anything successful all on their own. Nobody.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm a business. Yeah. No, I'm a business coach. I have a business coach, and I've always had business coaches. At some point in my life, I had 2 business coaches because I just had a lot of things that I wanted to accelerate my growth. And so I agree. I think it's so important. All right. So let's talk real quickly before we kind of move into a speed round. I always like to know a little bit about, the full kind of story of you, right? So the success is not a straight line.
No,
I don't think. And so it sounds like you feel the same. So give us the 60 to 90 seconds Reader's Digest version of you and how you got to today, and the seed that was planted, the earliest seed that you remember being planted that inspired you to actually be where you are today.
I'll tell you, having grown up in a family, small mining and forestry community in Timmins, Ontario, Canada, a very a small city, and my parents struggled financially. They argued about money all the time, and my parents both passed away sadly prematurely. I mean, life threw several challenges at me all at once. Both my parents passing away, my first marriage ending, being deeply in debt, and feeling like I had almost hit rock bottom. And I'll never forget something that my father said to me many, many times throughout the time that I had with him. He said, "Jayson, don't ever be found guilty of giving up on yourself." And he told me at a very early age, I wanted to have that BMX bicycle. Do you remember the BMX bikes?
I had a BMX. Are you kidding? My grandpa, I remember going to Sears Roebuck and getting my BMX.
Yeah. And so all my buddies were ripping up and down the street, and my parents had no money. And my dad said, "Listen, I want you to look at how they're treating those bikes." And I stood up, I looked out the picture window of our house, and they're just dumping the bikes on the grass and just throwing them on the street, and nobody cared about it. He said, "Look, I want you to look up and down the street at all the grass that needs to get cut. Go get the lawnmower, go knock on doors, go cut that grass, earn the money for the bike, and I promise you, you're going to be spit shining that thing, taking great care of it while your friends are destroying theirs. If you want to gain a value, if you want to truly understand the value of a dollar, the surefire way to gain that is to work for it And that was the seed that was planted for me, because I wanted to be able to earn an unlimited amount of dollars. And so it planted seed of determination, of work ethic, of ambition, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, good. I love it. I love that. I mean, I read a ton, I listen to a ton, I blah 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 blah, but nothing beats the inner drive of what you learned at an early age from those mentors that just planted those seeds. Yeah, no, I love that. I appreciate you sharing that story. All right, you ready for a quick speed round?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, favorite book and why?
Who Not How. And Dan Sullivan of Strategic Coach, along with Ben Finardi, wrote the book. And as entrepreneurs, whenever we come up with a new idea and we come up with a new innovation, our brains immediately go to, how are we going to get this executed?
Yeah.
Our thought process has changed completely. Now we think, who possesses the unique capabilities to get the hows done? And everything moves faster, grows faster, scales faster as a result.
Yeah, love it. Best piece of wisdom you've ever received?
There's no such thing as having arrived in knowledge. There's always something new to learn. And that was shared with me by my late mentor, R. Nelson Nash. I miss him. I think about him every day. Best-selling author and developer of The Process of Becoming Your Own Banker, the Infinite Banking Concept.
Yeah. You make me think of, I had a business coach for about 12, 13 years named Jules Rappaport. And he passed away suddenly, and he was the greatest. But I think about him often and tap into his advice and energy.
He's right there. So he's the first person I see when I come in.
He's
the last person I see leaving.
Yeah, those are special relationships. Fast forward 100 years, based on that comment, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be one of giving. I want my legacy to be one of transferring knowledge, thinking 3 generations past my own. And that's not just in relation to transfer of wealth, but more importantly, transfer of knowledge, what it takes to hang on to it and to bless other people's lives in a positive way.
I love it. That's beautiful. I love interviewing people who are in alignment, in fulfillment, and do work, soul work, right? And I'm all for being a conscious capitalist, right? You can be in alignment and conscious and still want to make a lot of money. I think some people struggle with that because they think making too much money, they feel guilty about it. I'm under the concept of the more money you make, the more people you can actually help. And so,
Can I share something with you real quick?
Yeah.
So part of in our group of companies, we have a profit share program where we take 50% from our profit pool on a quarterly basis, and we bless other people's lives in a positive way. And it's my team that gets to decide what to do with that money.
Oh my God, how fun.
Oh, it's amazing. And I'll tell you,
that's great.
It's all about giving. It's not about giving back.
Yeah.
We didn't take anything.
Yeah. No, I agree. Oh, that's amazing. Good. Yeah,
it's about easy.
Well, if you need someone to sit in on those meetings for fun, I'd love to be part of it. That sounds like a blast.
Beyond that.
Yeah. Well, this was great. Tell everybody who your ideal clients are, Jayson, and how they can connect with you.
My ideal clients are the ones that possess the optimum mindsets of people that I most love to work with. People who are coachable, people who are respectful, people who are kind, people who can make decisions based on fact and not opinion or innuendo, people who take action and take action quick. And no pun intended, the honest to goodness truth, people who think big.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'll share something too. I'm the same way. As a business coach, I work with solopreneurs to Fortune 100 companies and everything in between. And people say to me all the time, what type of clients do you like? To which I answer, people who have the right mindset, who can surrender, can be aware, who are coachable. It's like, those are the type of people that are ready to do the work, right? We can do our best work when they're ready to do their best work. So I love it. Tell people how to connect with you.
Well, people can visit ascendantfinancial.ca. Again, that's ascendantfinancial.ca. On the e-commerce side, you can visit canadaprepandship.com or easyfda.com.
All right. I love it. Jayson, this has been a real pleasure. It is Labor Day weekend, and I'm wishing everybody a great weekend to unplug and to just enjoy. Everybody's been working really, really hard the last year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to take those moments. You know, I know when I had my kids, everyone says, you know, sleep when your baby sleeps. So it's like everybody unplug when everybody's unplugging. So I appreciate your insight, your, you know, everything that you shared today, the mindsets, the stories. I really appreciate it. Think community, thanks for tuning in. If Jayson can help you, please reach out. And Jay, stay on for a moment and we'll connect a little bit more. Thanks, everybody. Have an awesome weekend.
Good to be with you. Thank you.